Sebastian Magahi, thank you. Julie Roper, that's easy enough to say. And then we will be followed by Thornton Heraldically. Geraldine? I used to teach cursive, but you wouldn't know it. Thornton Heraldi Nemesis. I'm sorry, I'm having trouble. Anyway, so we've got Sebastian, then Julie, then Thornton coming up for our one-shots. Sebastian, are you good to go? Well, then let's get on up here. Oh, what a lovely ukulele. Is that you? Right on. We've got a 1/4-inch cable up here. I think you want the silver cord, yeah? Can she plug her, let me get the, Okay, ladies and gentlemen, your attention, please. Sebastian is getting ready to go.
Am I allowed to swear? Otherwise, I'm going to modify the song. I'll modify it. We don't care.
I swear it's all right.
Okay.
You're among friends.
It's only like right in the beginning twice, and then it's fine for the rest, I think. Okay, this is a song I wrote during FOM called Flamethrower. 2018 is pretty fucking weird. And as fuck is the proper word to use here. The world is kinda ending, evil is descending, but it's fine as long as we have guns. Not to worry, Elon Musk has a plan. Yes, he is a rich man with a plan. He's got the resources, the mission's truly simple. Tunnel through the earth and free the lizard people. Boring company, flamethrower, the apocalypse tool for you. Yes, it may be $500, but think of all the things you can do. You can light the Nazis on fire, like the punk songs tell you to. Greatest troll, no more, and be gone bigots at your door if they're running away in fear. You could make creme brulee the badass way, or deal with all this Canadian snow. 'Cause combustion's the only way it'll go. The boring company flamethrower, the apocalypse tool for you. Yes, it may be $500, but think of all the things you could do. The flamethrower sold out, but don't you fret. You can learn to make one on the internet. Just go on YouTube, I'll tell you what to do. But my lawyer asked you to promise you aren't gonna sue. Type in boring company flamethrower, there's lots of DIYs. But the one by the hacksmiths is the one you should try. Then finally just do your best. I hope you don't die. The boring company flamethrower, the apocalypse tool for you. Yes, it may take a few hours, think of all the things you can do.
That was brilliant, Sebastian. Thank you.
Yes, sir. Yeah.
All right, Julie, are you up? You ready to go?
I
Right
don't
on.
have any, so you must have called my dad. I think.
Ah.
I'm releasing one soon, but it's not.
Julie Roper, ladies and gentlemen.
Like a small boat on the ocean, sending big waves into motion. Like how a single word can make a heart open. I might only have one chance, but I can make an explosion. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain, I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Provide my right song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of faith left in me. Losing friends and I'm chasing sleep. Everybody's worried about me. In too deep, say I'm in too deep. And it's been 2 years, I miss my home. There's a fire burning in my bones. And I still believe, yeah, I still believe. And all those things I didn't say, wrecking balls inside my brain, I will scream them loud tonight. Can you hear my voice this time? This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Provide my right song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of faith left in me. A lot of faith left in me. Like a small boat on the ocean, I might only have one chance, but I can make an explosion. This is my fight song. Take back my life song. Provide my right song. My power's turned on. Starting right now, I'll be strong. I'll play my fight song. And I don't really care if nobody else believes, 'cause I still got a lot of faith left in me. No, I still got a lot of faith left in me.
Right on, Julie. That was terrific. Fantastic. Thornton, are you good to go?
Yep.
Right on.
Okay. Hello from Germany. This is a song of a British filker called Phil Alcock. And it's called Anna. They said to me that you were dead 4 years ago. They told me that I had to let you go, to build my life anew, somehow without you. How hard that was, no one can ever know. I never had the chance to say goodbye to you. For once I hadn't said I loved you too. And when someone is dead, the words dead and unsaid remain forever lost, however true. But now you stand before me and I look into your eyes. Wonder if you can be real or just a cruel disguise. In the face of love we shared, can you love still survive? Are you still the one I loved there behind your eyes? When we found somebody from within your crew, I wondered, could there still be hope for you? But secrets I was told, of shadows dark and old, and I believed that all they said was true. But now I learned they hid the chance that you'd survive, for fear that I had sought you out and died. And while this hurts me so, what hurts more I know is she was right. I surely would have tried. But now you stand before me and I look into your eyes. Wonder if you can be real or just a cruel disguise. In the face of love we shared, can you love still survive? Are you still the one I love there behind your eyes? You bade me come with you to meet our enemy, to learn the truth that's been denied to me. And I find I must go, though it's a trap I know, to try and stop this future that I've seen. So now I know the reason for this hellish war. Now I know what billions have been dying for. But Anna's gone, I've seen, lost her mind in that machine. For she would never take this course, I'm sure. So now I stand before you and I look into your eyes. Though the face and voice are hers, it's just a cruel disguise. Though it cost me life and love, at least this is goodbye. Now I know my love is dead, there behind your eyes. I know my love is dead and gone, as I look in your eyes. Thank you.
That was terrific. Thornton, I don't think I've ever heard you sing before. You have a beautiful voice, man.
Thanks.
bunch of CDs for $1. And I said, it was some person who left me alone.
Good afternoon. You good to go? We on? We good? I sound better that way anyway, so.
See, we can hear you, but the recorder can't.
Ah.
Someone needs to introduce you, so don't start your.
Someone's going to introduce me?
The way to do that.
Okay. Well, okay then.
Have you got his instruments sorted out?
Okay, go ahead.
A great many of you in this room have heard Tim Griffin or have heard of Tim Griffin. And you probably all know what I'm going to say, which is he used to be a teacher full-time. And of course, he, like every other teacher I've ever known, figured out that when kids learn to music, they learn better. And he took that message and he's broadcasted and he's got his foundation, Griffin Ed, and that's what you're doing full-time now, which is absolutely awesome because I cannot think of anything more wonderful than to bring more music into learning. It makes learning so much fun. And I bet we all remember things we learned to music when we were 3 years old. Ladies and gentlemen, Tim Griffin.
Howdy. Some people make their way and stay within the light, their path illuminated through the dead of night time. They walk in wonder, giving thanks unto their God. Others just draw trouble like the rod will draw the lightning. Some people know the world and know it all too well. It kicks you in the teeth, but you won't have to tell them. They know the season when the carnival will come, but I swear by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. Beware the coming dark, better act your age. We all play our part like actors on a stage, and he'll have you on his hook and almost incidentally he'll read you like a book and gently cut your pages. The carnival has come, it's opening tonight. 1,000 wonders and accordions alight, and you know the reason why the carnival will come, but I swear by the pricking of my thumbs, something wicked this way comes. See people lining up quickly as they can. See the painted ladies and the illustrated man. Now it's midnight, hold on tight, or spinning through the years. Should your laughter turn to tears, you know there's no recanting. Some people turning forward, others turning back, round in a whirl until the world begins to crack. So heed my warning should the morning ever come, for I swear by the pricking of my thumbs, if you listen for the beating of their drums, I can feel in the pricking of my thumbs something wicked. Thank you. It is such a pleasure and a privilege and just a thrill to be here with you guys up in Canada. I mean, Canada is just such a lovely country and looking better and better all the time. But anyway, so yeah, I write teaching songs mostly and try to have fun with them. So here's an example. We hear all these love songs on the radio where they talk about the heart, and they just get the physiology totally wrong. So I figured I'd see if I could fix that. You know my heart has got 4 chambers,
2 ventricles below, 2 atria above, and all 4 chambers are filled with love for you. But that's a metaphor, you see, because my heart beats just for me. You know I need my heart to pump my blood, but that don't mean I'm not in love with you. My right atrium gets blood from the vena cava and sends it down through my tricuspid valve. My right ventricle contracts while my pulmonary valve acts like a one-way door going up, you see, to my pulmonary artery. My blood goes to my lungs to pick up oxygen and also to get rid of CO2. Oh, then the blood comes back again through my pulmonary veins, and then my heart keeps beating for me, not for you. You know my heart has got 4 chambers, 2 ventricles below, 2 atria above, but that's got nothing to do with love. It's another thing entirely. You know I need my heart, it's true. That's why I won't give it to you, because I need my heart to pump my blood, but that don't mean I'm not in love with you. My left atrium gets blood from the pulmonary veins and sends it on down through my mitral valve. My left ventricle will squeeze blood out to my arteries through my aortic valve. You know, it's sort of like a one-way door to my aorta. My blood will circulate through all my systems and pass through capillaries along the way. They say my heart has so much power, it beats 4,000 times an hour and pumps about 2,000 gallons every day. You know my heart has got 4 chambers, 2 ventricles below, 2 atria above, and all 4 chambers are filled with blood for me. I'll never give my heart to you, but don't let that make you blue. You know I need my heart to pump my blood. That don't mean I'm not in love with you. I only need my heart to pump my blood. That don't mean I'm not in love with you. Thank you. So yeah, we do my music through a nonprofit in Los Angeles, but we run an online library of teaching songs. And we've actually got solid data showing that a kid who hears one of our songs 5 times or more will, in fact, test higher on that topic. But the main thing is it's fun. And we mostly do science and math and stuff, but we do some social studies too. So here's what I want to share with you. Look. This one, still not 100% sure about this one because some people find it a little bit off-putting, but it's about immigration because it was something that came up a lot over the last couple of years down in the United States. And so I thought I'd write a song about some of the things I've been hearing on the news. Let's see. It's called All These Immigrants. All these immigrants from Mexico, oh, I saw that about. They're always speaking Spanish, and it really freaks me out. We've got to build a wall, or we'll all be out of luck. And then you'll have to get your lunch from a tasty taco truck. All these immigrants from Italy, they wave their arms and shout. They do it in Italian, and it really freaks me out. We really ought to round them up and send them back to Rome, or soon they'll be delivering hot pizza to your home.
All these immigrants from Ireland is really quite a shame. I guess they're speaking English, but it doesn't sound the same. Deport them all to Dublin, or I don't know what we'll do when they're serving fried potatoes in every drive-through. All these immigrants from Germany, they wave their all these immigrants from Germany, they smell like sauerkraut. They're always speaking German, and it really freaks me out. Deport them all to Dusseldorf, for it will be a shame when our children ask for hot dogs at every baseball game. All these immigrants from the Netherlands, they're actually the Dutch. They settled New York first, but I don't like them very much. We really should deport the Dutch, and here's the reason why. But if we don't ditch the Dutch, we'll all be eating apple pie. All these immigrants from England, what's all that about? They're always speaking English, and it kind of freaks me out. But they're starving in our winter, so we'll share our food with them. They'll eat venison and potatoes, corn, squash, and tomatoes, like a real American. Oh, yeah?
He was getting ready. A bunch of people just came in.
Sure.
If you've got a seat vacant next to you, would you stick up your hand so they can find a seat? There we go.
You can sit next to me up here.
There's two here. One, two.
One at the front.
All right, may I play while people find their seats then? I've got a song to sing you and I'll try to make it rhyme about a theory that explains why life's evolving all the time. We wondered how the creatures got their feathers, feet, and fins till Charlie Darwin figured out the species' origins. Now everybody knows that every creature that's alive has one paramount priority, and that is to survive. A cheetah that cannot run fast will never catch its lunch, while the faster cheetah gets gazelles and eats them by the bunch. It's natural selection, but it isn't very nice. A species that cannot adapt is gonna pay the price. Survival of the fittest means you've got to be the best, cause nature will get rid of all the rest. A monk named Gregor Mendel showed that every living thing tends to pass its good traits and its bad along to its offspring. So the faster cheetah's babies will be quick just like their dad, while the slower cheetah starves to death, although it's very sad. Now the cheetah who can catch gazelles is gonna eat so well that he's gonna make a lot of baby cheetahs like himself. This means you'll get a lot of baby cheetahs that are fast, while the slow ones, as I said before, are never gonna last. It's natural selection, but it's not a pretty tale. Just look at all the fossils of the animals that failed. Survival of the fittest means you've got to be the best, cause nature will get rid of all the rest. So each new generation runs with greater speed and power, and by now the cheetahs chase gazelles at 80 miles an hour. But they never chase the fast ones because they're lazy just like you, so the cheetahs eat the slow ones. And gazelles get faster too. It's natural selection and it isn't blasphemy. It just means that creation is a process you can see. Survival of the fittest means you've got to be the best, because nature will get rid of all the rest. And all of this is gonna be on the test. So part of what we do at Griffin Ed is I go to schools for songwriting residencies, where I show up in a classroom for an hour at a time, once a week for 8 weeks. And the kids write songs about topics of current study. And then under the guidance of their teacher, they figure out, okay, what are the big ideas? What's the key vocabulary? And what I'm there to do is give them a writing structure and help them with the scansion and meter to fit it to a tune they already know. So basically what we're doing is filking. And so I thought I'd share a couple of examples with you. And these are songs that are written by kids with a little help. I help them on the just getting the meter and the scansion correct. So this is written by 5th graders who are studying for physics. They're doing different forms of energy, and they wanted to talk about kinetic and potential energy and how they can change. So they made a little story and turned it into a song. Roller coaster goes up high, slowing at the top there. Hangs a moment in the sky, ready for a drop there. At the top it's loaded with potential energy, but that's gonna change when it rolls down the hill so quickly. See the coaster coming down at a pace frenetic. Its potential energy has now become kinetic. As it loses altitude, it keeps on going faster, plunging down toward the ground, heading for disaster. Up and down it goes around slowly and then quickly, changing forms of energy and making us feel sickly. Energy can change its form, this is consequential, but our favorite flavors are kinetic and potential. So as you can imagine, the kids, because through the process of arguing about, okay, what's the key vocabulary, how do we use it in context, and how do we organize the ideas, not only do they become experts on the topic, but the process of having to figure, okay, the rigid structure of a song, verse, chorus, they have to organize their ideas in a way that we want them to be doing for any kind of writing procedure. But it's kind of hard to see when you're doing it in just an expository essay or a persuasive essay, for example. So what we find when we do this over and over is, over time, the kids' writing really does get better overall because they see how organizing it just makes it more effective.
Good.
So yes, exactly, because we've got so many young adults who cannot write their way out of a paper bag. And, okay, now,
Yes.
I'll give you one more example. This is one we just finished up. We actually performed it on Wednesday in downtown Los Angeles. This is by a class of 2nd graders. And the idea the teacher wanted them to get was there are some things that every animal has got to be able to do. And we talked to the kids, okay, well, what must every animal do? And one kid is like, every animal knocks over the dog food can and eats the dog's food. And I said, well, what kind of animal is that? It's a raccoon. Okay, but do all animals do that? Does an octopus come into your yard and knock over the trash? No. Okay, well, not every animal then, right? So the whole idea of just, sort of like building a mental Venn diagram of, which things can we say about all animals? Every living thing, for example, has got to eat. That was one of the things that came up with. Everything has to have a home, a habitat. And as we go through, we help them with the vocabulary because these are kids who do not speak English as a first language. So anyway, if you could help me out with this one, I just need, just so that we don't bring the roof down, instead of clapping, could we do like a 2-finger clap like this? Good. Keep going. Every living thing has got to eat. Like a fennec hunting mice in the Sahara. When a monkey wants to eat, a banana is a treat, but an anaconda eats a capybara. A whale shark can fill her big belly up with krill, and for the zebra, the grass tastes pretty good. You know that every creature needs its own special kind of feed, so it really shouldn't eat your food. Every living creature's got to move, like a turtle swimming slowly in the sea. Consider now the rabbit for whom hopping is a habit, or a monkey brachiating in a tree. A horse will gallop hither while a snake can only slither, and an enemy just waves to and fro. Every living thing must move with its own special groove. Every creature has a special way to go. Every living creature needs a home. It needs a habitat to feed and breed and grow. The Arctic is where you'll find a snowshoe hare, but a prairie is where the buffalo will roam. Antarctica is nice for a penguin on the ice, and for the dromedary, deserts feel fine. You know that every organism has to have a home that fits them, so it isn't quite the same as yours or mine. Every living creature has to breed. It's got to propagate, at least it's got to try. You know, a bird will do her best to hatch a hatchling in her nest, but a fish will have a fingerling or a fry. A kid's a baby goat, while a hog will have a shoat, and a joey is a baby kangaroo. You know that every creature tries to reproduce before it dies, but if it fails, its genetic line is through. So this was a bunch of 7-year-olds. And they're doing research on their iPads, like, you know, what is a baby kangaroo called? What is a, you know, and so asking, learning how to use the, you know, learn to search for basic information and writing simple sentences with it. And so they have a lot of fun. I have fun doing it too. Anyway, let's get back to, okay, here's a good song for making children cry. It's a little early for holiday songs, but you know, you got to get them out there. So here's the thing: a friend of mine who's a music producer, he's actually done some pretty big stuff. His last band before he started working with me sold 3.5 million CDs, so kind of a bigger deal than my stuff. But anyway, he said, "Listen, one of the things you want to try to write, if you want something that's going to put money in the bank, is write a good holiday song, because that comes around every year." And so I looked at like different holiday themes, and most of them have just been done and done. You know, I mean, no more songs about Santa, obviously. So I did some research, and while I was actually traveling in Germany, I learned about a holiday figure who is just, I think, so awesome and doesn't really get nearly the credit he deserves. So I wrote a song for him. You know Rudolph and Frosty the Snowman. You know Santa with presents to go, man. But do you ever recall the most wonderful, mythical holiday figure of all? It's a magical time for the children, and they're trying their best to be good, for they know who's coming for Christmas and what he will do to the ones who've not done as they should. The parents all smile as they welcome him in, bearing unto the children the fruit of their sin. Come Krampus, come Christmas each year. Come show naughty children the meaning of fear, while Santa brings all the good children their toys. Come Krampus for bad girls and boys. You know most of the children get presents because they've been good, but if not, when Christmas time comes, they will feel the dark presence of him who takes kids where it's awfully hot. Remember how mankind was saved on this day, except for the few who get carried away. Come Krampus with horns on your head. Come show naughty children the meaning of dread, while good little children join in for the feast. Come Krampus, you horrible beast. You know Krampus is coming for Christmas, with a sack and a switch and a chain. He's making things easy for Santa this Christmas, for Santa just visits the ones who remain. So if old-time religion is really your thing, then raise up your voices together and sing. Come Krampus, come deep in the night. Come show naughty children the meaning of fright, while good children play with the presents they got. Come Krampus for those who are not. Come Krampus, you old pagan prince. I told all my kids they've been good ever since. They're just sitting there quietly quaking with cheer, and we all know the reason. It's the joy of the season, for Krampus is coming for Christmas this year. Alrighty then, so let's do a serious song. I've written a couple. So this one is a true story that happened in California back in 1928. It was actually the worst engineering disaster in American history. It was 1928 when the engineer Mulholland said the St. Francis Dam was good to go, with a whole year's worth of water for a thirsty growing Southland, and no danger to the people down below. But a little short of midnight came a thunder like a cannon, with a lot of sleeping people in the way. 50 billion tons of water came down Francisquito Canyon, and a night shift operator started calling folks to say, "Can you hear me in Castaic? This is Lucy on the line. Wake your family, get them up to higher ground. There's not much time. You better run out of that canyon, leave all your things behind. Now I've got some other calls to make," said Lucy on the line. Now Lucy was a hello girl in the town of Santa Paula. You'd hear her voice each time you used the phone. With her fingers on her switchboard, she connected every call. And sometimes she worked the evening shift alone. Then one night in 1928 came word from up the valley. The dam had failed and death was on the way. And though Lucy was no expert, she knew water runs downhill. So she sat down at her switchboard, calling people up to say, "Can you hear me up in Saugus? This is Lucy on the line. You know a lot of little towns are in the way. One is mine. We got a monster in our valley and we're running out of time. Go get the children out of bed," said Lucy on the line. Then Piru gone right off the grid. The flood was coming closer with 100 feet of water, earth, and stone. When the sheriff ordered Lucy out, she simply told him no, sir, and went back to saving people on the phone. When the flood came down to Fillmore town, a lot of homes went under. She knew which town would be the next to fall. Then through an open window, Lucy heard a growing thunder, but she held the line to place just one more call. "Can you hear me, Santa Paula? It says Lucy on the line. Wake your neighbors, wake your children." And the families who, thanks to Lucy, made it out in time, helped to spread the word and thank the Lord for Lucy on the line. The flood ran down along the banks of the Santa Clara River, leaving 50 miles of death from dam to sea. With near 500 people lost, some were never found, Mulholland said, "Just put the blame on me." All the people of the valley wondered what became of Lucy, but all the food and power lines were down. It took a long time to fix them, but then the people learned when they all picked up their phones and heard an old familiar sound. "Can you hear me in Ventura? This is Lucy on the line. You know it got a little hairy there, but sure doing fine. I thought the water had me beat, but it missed by several feet. Give the neighbors my best wishes and a big hug for the missus. Give all the kids my kisses. This is Lucy on the line." So that's a true story. The only thing I changed was Lucy is a composite character. There were actually about a half dozen women that night holding the line. And they got a lot of people out because there were, when you look at the math, I think there were about 2,000 homes destroyed that night, in the middle of the night. And only about 500 people died, which means that they were able to get information to most of the people in time. And it wasn't just the Hello Girls. There were also a lot of very brave men from the Highway Patrol and the Sheriff's Department riding their motorcycles across the path of the flood with their horns blaring, their sirens, trying to warn people. And if you go through Santa Paula, California now, there's a little statue that most people don't even know why it's there, but it's two men in bronze on motorcycles turning their wheels toward the river. And that is a gift from a grateful public to the lawmen who risked their lives that night. The Hello Girls, they received a $25 bonus, including overtime, from a grateful public. But that's how it goes sometimes. Hey, Steve, we can do this song, right? Can I get Steve and Dave up here, please? Just about, you don't even really need a mic. Well, actually, you should probably have a mic. Can we get him around that one? Thank you. And Steve, I think you got the blue head on the left there.
We rehearsed this in October.
Yeah.
In Germany.
In Germany.
Once.
On stage.
No, that was the performance.
So, yeah, this is an old, one of my favorite sing-alongs. This is by the Limelighters. And so the way it's going to work is the song is called Harmony. We're all going to be singing it together. So these guys are your guides, so to speak. So if you're in the middle, you're going to sing with me. If you're on that side, you're going to sing with Dave. And if you're on that side, you can ignore Steve. So it's just there's a refrain that comes up over and over again, and the way it works is if you're in the middle, you're going to sing harmony. Can you try that with me? Harmony. Now on the next beat after that, Dave is going to come in one beat after. He'll raise his hand to signal you when it's time, and he's going to go harmony. Try that with him. Harmony. And then on the third beat, so it's going to be har. On the third beat, it's harmony. Can you do that with Steve? Harmony.
Oh, come on, you can do better than that.
I think I got the best section over here.
No. I got Sue. I got all sorts of people here. We rock.
All right. Well, let's try it. So it's gonna be harmony. All right. Let's give it a try. So harmony. That'll do it. We'll come up again and again so we get to practice. So let's give it a try. When I was a boy, the choir used to meet at the little white church just down the street. A bunch of us are kids just learning how to sing, but glory, how we love to make that little church ring with harmony. When I got a little older, I got together with the guys, and for hour after hour we'd harmonize. Next thing you know, we had ourselves a band, and Saturday night we'd be up on the stand singing harmony. One voice makes me want to sing, two voices make me. This is where we come in. This is where, oh, you come in, Steve.
Oh, I come in second. Okay.
Yes, you come in second.
Rehearsal.
All right. Hey. One voice makes me want to sing, two voices make me feel like a king, three voices getting out of hand. I'd like to take you to the promised land, singing harmony. Now I never held her much, but this old guitar till that blue-eyed girl, she stole my heart. Well, she don't sing and she can't play, but the Lord up above knows she got her own way of making harmony. And now I got a little boy coming up to my knee, and he loves nothing better than to sing with me. One day soon I know he'll look me in the eye, singing, you take the low part and I'll take the high on the harmony. One voice makes me want to sing, two voices make me feel like a king, three voices getting out of hand. Four to take you to the promised land, singing harmony. Now the day I wake up and I can't sing a song, well, that's the day I'll be moving on. I got a reservation and it always stands, playing a song up in heaven's band in harmony. One voice makes me want to sing, two voices make me feel like a king, three voices getting out of hand. I like to take you to the promised land, singing harmony. We're singing harmony, singing All right. Is that, oh, it was fun? What a surprise. I went to a Tim Griffin show. It was fun. Who knew? All right, let's see here then. So this is one of my few college level songs. Diogenes the cynic held a lamp to find an honest man. Seneca the stoic said to be as simple as you can. Zeno was a dialectic specialist in paradox. Schrodinger was keen on killing cats inside a little box. Strato followed Aristotle, he was pretty peripatetic. Kant abhorred empiricism, saw the model more synthetic. Heidegger questioned common sense and wondered what it means to be. Buddha found enlightenment by sitting neath a Bodhi tree. Confucius wrote his Analects about relationships and rules. Parmenides loved his logic, built the Eleatic school. Cicero reminded us to keep the horse before the cart. I think, therefore I am. I think that am Rene Descartes. Augustine imported ancient Greece to Christianity. Rousseau rejected pride and tried for natural humanity. Sartre said to cultivate an existential attitude. Basically, he wrote that your reality reflects your mood. Machiavelli said that every ruler should be autocratic. Will James claimed the best approach was to be more pragmatic. Hobbes agreed the sovereign should have absolute authority. That didn't bother Gorgias. He said, there's no one here but me. John Locke was a pillar of enlightenment empiricism. Marx wrote a manifesto. He predicted communism. People reading Vasayana's Kama Sutra had a cow. Lao Tzu said to slow down, find the Tao. Hume declared that humans run not on reason but desire. Empedocles had lots of fun with air, water, earth, and fire. Xenophanes' claim to fame was claiming there was just one God. Don't forget economists like Adam Smith and Hesiod. King Thoreau and Gandhi showed that non-violence was the way. Democritus named for us the politics we have today. Thales chose geometry instead of pure mythology. Protagoras claimed that all things can be measured only by a man. Aristotle wound his peers of planets in concentric spheres. Plato wrote some early blogs, published them as dialogues. Socrates' only crime was asking questions all the time, but when accused, refused to flee, stayed in Athens, drank the tea. Epicurus argued it was atoms made a human soul. Hegel held reality to be an all-inclusive whole. St. Aquinas advocated natural theology. Saul of Tarsus changed his name and issued an apology. Comte was an altruist, at least according to the French. Nietzsche was acclaimed for Zarathustra and the Ubermensch. Here's to Soren Kierkegaard, the early existentialist, along with my apologies to those who didn't make the list of 44 philosophers. Alrighty then, let's see here. So my friend Jeff, who was the producer, when we sent that Krampus song, we sent it off to Walmart and we're hoping to hear it in November. When they didn't get back to us, he figured, okay, listen, we'll try something else, because there's another kind of song that's just money in the pocket if you can get it written, is if you can write a good sports rock anthem. Because what happens there is, they play it, in between the innings of the baseball, and every time it gets played, it's cha-ching, cha-ching, cha-ching. So he said, okay, write me a good sports rock anthem. So given I teach elementary school, so I wrote a sports rock anthem for handball. So here's my sports rock anthem. bell rings and I run outside. You know the asphalt's hard and the yard is wide. I got one game, gonna get to the wall, gonna get the game going, buddy, give me the ball. And I'm so hot anyone can see that the great wall of China ain't greater than me. You got one serve and it's down to the wire. Better hide behind the wall when I hit handballs of fire. One serve, buddy, then you're gone. It's my moment of fame and my game is on. I got one way to show the boys and girls that inside of these lines I'm the king of the world. And I'm so hot anyone can see that the great wall of China ain't greater than me. You got one serve and it's down to the wire. Better hide behind the wall when I hit handballs of fire. You know I might fight dirty for my domain, but the price of glory is paid in pain. You claim the game's not there, well the kindergarten yard is over there. Game over, buddy, back of the line, 'cause I'm the lord of the ball and this old wall is mine. I got one doubt who's number one, gonna break down the wall before the break is done. And I'm so hot anyone can see that the Berlin Wall ain't as burly as me. You got one serve and it's down to the wire. Better hide behind the wall and I hit that handball. So hot anyone can tell that I do one thing and I do it well. You got one serve and it's down to the wire. Better hide behind the wall and I'm hitting handballs of fire. So yeah, we sent that one off to ESPN. No response yet. But we can hope.
Yeah.
All right, let's see here. I wrote this one about a year ago for someone who did me a huge favor and didn't even know it. When I'm not here, you can take my heart, put it in your chest and walk around. And every time you feel it beat or get up dancing on your feet, I'll dance along wherever I may be. When you're meeting with a part of me. When I'm not here, you can take my eyes, put them in your head and look around. I read somewhere a wise man tries to see through someone else's eyes. Somewhere I'll be seeing what you see when you're looking through a part of me. When I'm not here, you can take my lungs, put them in your chest and walk around. And every time you sing a song, my lungs will gladly sing along. Somewhere I will hear you breathing free, breathing with a part of me. When I'm not here, take my other parts, put them in whoever's feeling down. Take every organ that I got, except my liver, that one's shot. Bring me joy wherever I may be, when you're living with a part of me. So I was told a while back I had to have a Star Trek song. Or I wasn't a real FilKOntario. Well, I want to be a Vulcan, I don't want to be a man. I want to be inscrutable and smarter than my friends. I'd always be alive when the episode ends. So I want to be a Vulcan, not a Homo sapiens. Well, I wanna be a Vulcan man, I wanna wear those ears. I wanna need a hoodie, I only wanna need a woman every 7 years. I wanna take the Enterprise 100 times a year. Oh, I wanna be a Vulcan man, I wanna wear those ears. Well, I wanna be a Vulcan man, a woman or a boy. I wanna have a phaser and tricorder for my toys. I'd always be politely condescending to McCoy. Oh, I wanna be a Vulcan man, a woman or a boy. Well, I'm gonna be a Vulcan on the Starship Enterprise. I wanna use a Vulcan grip on all the evil guys. I wanna be logical and never act surprised. So I wanna be a Vulcan, I'm a Vulcan kind of guy. Well, I wanna be a Vulcan, be the Federation's friend. So let me be a Vulcan or at least a Romulan. I wanna be Jakar, I don't wanna be Deland. No, I wanna be a Vulcan in a rock and roll band. So another, this one's fun. It's kind of sort of a universal folk song because my uncle, by the way, if you know me, you know my uncle's Larry Niven. And so we travel, we go to conventions. He was going to come to this one, but he's in the process of moving to a new house in Los Angeles, so he had to bail on us. But anyway, he complained one time I had never written a song about one of his books. So I figured I said, I'll show him. we were flying to a convention in Atlanta, actually, and so so the first time he got to hear it, he was sitting in the front row, and everybody's like, "Oh, he's written a song for Larry Niven." Okay. So I said, "Yes, this is a song about my favorite Larry Niven book." There's a great big thing in outer space, and we're going to investigate the place. So get on board the ship, cause we're going on a trip. Yeah, we're gonna represent the human race. No, we don't know what it is what it's for, but it won't be very dangerous, I'm sure. We'll just fly really near and admire the engineering of a great big thing in outer space. I was told by the guy who planned our trip we'd be safe on the surface while he stayed aboard the ship. Pretty sure the locals won't get mad, so why'd the expedition go so badly on a great big thing in outer space, where our well-laid plans are in disgrace, or where the only good part is that we learned a lot of physics and it didn't do much good in any case, because the natives on the thing are really strange. You know, their logic is confusing and deranged. It isn't easy making friends with a bunch of aliens on a great big thing in outer space. Oh, what kind of messed up alien being would build such a crazy, colossal thing? Why build a world you can never ever fill, where the whole population wants to kill me on a great big thing in outer space, where any creature that you meet could eat your face? And if I make it home again, gonna hide in bed and then never ever gonna leave my happy place for a great big thing in outer space. No more great big thing in outer space. So Larry was in the front row, and he just couldn't wait to see which of his books I was writing about. And as went through the song, by the time we were about halfway through the song, his eyebrows were kind of going up. And then he slowly started folding over. And afterwards he said, "Oh, I'll get you." Oh, boy.
Has he managed to yet?
Oh, yes. But I haven't written the song about that one. So anyway, a couple of years ago, running my nonprofit, Griffin Ed, it's always a struggle to kind of, with all the other groups, tons of worthy causes out there, a lot of people trying to make the world a better place. So there's a group that has chapters in a bunch of different cities called the Social Venture Partners. And their main annual event is kind of like that show Shark Tank you may have seen on TV. It's like that, but for nonprofits. The idea is they start with 100 leaders of 100 different nonprofits, and you get your 3 minutes to make your pitch. And they cut you down to 50 people and then 20 people, and then you do extensive coaching. And finally, 10 of you make it to the final event, which is, in our case, I had 3 minutes up in front of 800 philanthropists. to try to convince them they'd be crazy not to give me tons of money. Now, the one thing I did differently, just because I knew I needed to do something to stand out from all these other contestants, because something where you're doing science music and you're competing against people that are, building homeless shelters and, and treatment and intervention programs for battered women and children. So, really good causes. They're a lot more urgent than mine, obviously. So I figured I might as well try doing something a little unconventional. So I sang my presentation. And some of the judges loved it, some of them hated it. So I'll give you the song, and I'll tell you what happened because of it. So, when I became a teacher back in 1993, I saw the same problem others have observed. Teaching elementary math and science to LAUSD, I found a gap between the rich kids and the students that I served. Now, when I was young, we had Schoolhouse Rock on Saturday TV. I played guitar, so I wondered how hard could it be. I started writing songs about the subjects of the STEM, and my fellow teachers found that it was working great for them. I started getting feedback from the teachers every day. This belongs in every school, is what they said. But I knew the schools that need it most could not afford to pay. So I started a new nonprofit, and I called it Griffin Ed. We feature songs of science and, of course, the Common Core. That's an education thing. Yeah. So we can help the kids in nearly every state from shore to shore. It's fun and it's effective. How much better could it be? We stream it on our website, and we do it all for free. We've already done 4 albums, and we're making more of those with a growing team of musicians and writers too, several of whom are in this room right now. Now we're looking for support for animated videos. If you'd like to be a sponsor, then I've got a song for you. It's a monumental mission, but so far we're doing fine. We can scale it up to any size because we do it all online. If you'd like to be a donor or to learn a little more, you can check us out. We're online now at griffinet.org. So as it played out, I finished 3rd out of 100, which was pretty good. One judge came up to me, and he was just furious. And he's a guy who, if you live in Los Angeles County, you would know his name because his family's name is on a whole lot of buildings at universities and hospitals and things. So big deal philanthropist guy. He comes up to me and says, "Dude, I just wanted you to know I gave you a 0 out of 10." And my wife came up and to me, and we were talking about the presentations, and she said to me, "What about that guy Tim Griffin who leads that science nonprofit where they're teaching science and math through music? What a jackass!" And I said, "So wait a minute, let me get this right. Of all the presentations you sat through tonight, she remembered my name, my mission, what I do, and how I do it?" And he said, and he paused for a second, and he said, "Well, yeah, but if the only thing they remember is that they hate you, what good is it?" I said, "I hear you, I get it, but tonight when you're brushing your teeth," so I'm using a little headology here, a little suggestion. I said, "Tonight when you're brushing your teeth and you have that song stuck in your head, that's when you're going to know I'm right." So he went home, and we didn't, I didn't hear anything about it for about 6 months. But the small profit sector, even in a city the size of Los Angeles, is kind of a small world too. You bump into people again eventually. So I was at a big fundraiser event for another nonprofit, and I look across the crowd, there's hundreds of people there, and all of a sudden I make eye contact with this guy, and he sees me and he goes, he pushes people out of the way. And he gets right up in my face, like, I'm looking for the door, and he's like, up in my business, says, "You son of a bitch." And then, to his credit, he reaches into his pocket and pulls out his checkbook. So, ladies and gentlemen, I got to tell you, it is just such fun being up here with you guys, and I'm gonna do one more song and wrap it up because we got so many other fantastic performers coming on this afternoon. So I hope you ate a good lunch and got a good rest last night because the music is just going to be going all night long. But I just want to thank FilKOntario for having me up here, and all of you for being here. And if you like my music, please do check it out. It's online, griffinet.org. And we will get the new album up someday, real soon now. Anyway, so I'll finish up with a song that is sort of a history of cosmology, but it's also a song about how science works. The story behind this song, of course, is that when Isaac Newton wrote a book called the Principia, a lot of people came up to him and said, how is it that you've solved all these puzzles that eluded your predecessors? And he said, well, if I see farther, it's because I'm standing on the shoulders of giants. Aristotle said the world is a ball, unrolled a scroll and made a map of it all. He put the planets in the sky, moving around the earth every day. Copernicus drew a very different one, pictured all the planets going round the sun. Then Galileo made a telescope and said, hey, it sure looks that way. You know that each generation learns a little bit more, pulling back the curtain, opening up the door. But it's only when we're standing on the shoulders of giants we can see the things we didn't before. Kepler said it had to run on rational rules, tried to work it out with geometrical tools. He gave us orbital mechanics, but he couldn't figure why it should be. Newton knew the secret when he saw an apple fall, said there had to be one force to rule them all. He gave us 3 laws of motion and 1 more just for gravity. You know that each generation learns a little bit more, pulling back the curtain, opening up the door. But it's only when we're standing on the shoulders of giants we can see the things we didn't before. Each generation making new ways to question how the pieces of the universe go. And each new breakthrough just a part of the progression. How far will it go? I don't know. We're always redefining and refining the rules. That doesn't mean our predecessors were fools. It's like the pieces of a puzzle that they handed on to you and me. Maybe in another 100 years or 2, people then may laugh at all we thought we knew, but they'll be standing on our shoulders when they brag about how far they can see. You know that each generation learns a little bit more, pulling back the curtain, opening up the door. But it's only when we're standing on the shoulders of giants we can see the things we didn't before. Herschel and Hubble, Einstein and Bohr, pulling back the curtain, opening up the door. But it's only when we're standing on the shoulders of giants we can see the things we didn't before. And Aristotle said the world is a ball. Thank you so much, ladies and gentlemen. Stay tuned, we got a whole ton of great music coming up, including some one-shots.
Yeah. Hey, he needs the mic.
If you want, I actually labeled it already. I was watching the schedule.
There. Oh, here we go. Okay. So while Lauren is getting ready, and by the way, I can't even find words to explain how excited I am every time Lauren starts to sing. So we have Lauren Cox coming up, and then one shots after that. We got Katie and Bill Roper, and then we got Blind Levy Chiffon after that. Meanwhile, while she's getting tuned up, a couple of quick announcements. Found on the floor somewhere a silver earring with 2 blue glass beads is waiting for you at registration. And let's see, what else we got? Oh, raffle for this beautiful quilt here. Tickets are $1. Or I think you can get, there's a volume discount if you buy them. I'm certainly going to be buying some of those. You may not use seats for computers, crafts, or to hold your stuff. The seats are for people, and we only have just enough for everybody to sit in them. What else? Please take a seat. People, objects in the aisles are a fire code violation and unsafe for everyone. And that's all I got for right now. Lauren, are you ready?
I'm very near.
Okay, fine. I'm going to step aside. We got some one-shots, and then in about 15 minutes, we're going to have, oh, I've got the wrong list in front of me. So, anyway, more shows and music coming up. Thank you.
I think my battery is dead. Yes, a microphone. Check. Oh, it's working. Well, this is not a song I wrote. It's by a musician named Anais Mitchell, who is incredible. This is kind of my disillusioned American song, which is all the more present in my head being in Canada. This is Why We Build a Wall. Just realized that a little bit. Okay. Why do we build the wall? My children, why do we build the wall? Why do we build the wall? We build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free. How does the wall keep us free? My children, how does the wall keep us free? How does the wall keep us free? The wall keeps out the enemy, and we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free. Who do we call the enemy? My children, who do we call the enemy? Who do we call the enemy? The enemy is poverty, and the wall keeps out the enemy, and we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free. Because we have and they have not. My children, because they want what we've got. Because we have and they have not. Because they want what we've got. The enemy is poverty, and the wall keeps out the enemy, and we build the wall to keep us free. That's why we build the wall. We build the wall to keep us free. want? My children, what do we have that they should want? What do we have that they should want? We have a wall to work upon. We have work and they have none, and our work is never done. My children, and the war is never won. The enemy is poverty, and the wall keeps out the enemy. And we build a wall to keep us free. That's why we build a wall. We build a wall to keep us free. We build a wall to keep us free.
That was lovely. Right on. Thanks.
Make it stop.
Katie and Bill, you good to go?
Yeah.
Right on.
All right.
And then after that, Lem, you're on deck. There he is. Right on. Fantastic.
Your copy. Okay, yeah, the one fell at your copy. I should be able to jack in here if we could. Hand me the wire. There we go. So much better that way. Yes, it has a jack. Okay. Hi. I just did the marathon to the room and back because the guitar was there. There's no room to keep it here. Anyway, this is a song that Gretchen and Katie and I wrote for Katie's teacher, Mrs. Sharko, last year. Yeah, you there. Okay, you ready? It's got a chorus. We start with the chorus. If you learn the chorus, you should sing along. There's a G-class star that we call Sol, made of hydrogen and helium, a big yellow ball. We are part of the family that orbits round the sun. Outward bound, our journey's just begun. Earth is the planet that we start our journey from. It's the place we call home. It's the third rock from the sun. The first thing we notice as we're sitting, taking stock, terrestrial planets were mostly made of rock. Mercury, Venus, the Earth, and Mars, the first planets that we visit on our journey to the stars. Out past the asteroids are planets that are large. Saturn, Uranus, Neptune, but it's Jupiter in charge. They are all gas giants here, it's what you need to know. Holding on to hydrogen's the thing that made them grow. With rings and storms and lots of moons, orbital mechanics have them dancing to the tunes. There's a G-class star that we call Sol, made of hydrogen and helium, a big yellow ball. We are part of the family that orbits round the sun. Outward bound, our journey's just begun. Pluto was a planet up until 2006, when the IAU said they had to make a fix, cause it might be kind of big and it might be kind of round, but so are all these other Kuiper planets that we found. Can't clutter up the planet list with all of this debris, so Pluto's not a planet now, and that's okay by me. The plane of the eclipse is where the planets can be found, but when we reach the Oort cloud, it is spherically round. It's a place of mystery where far-off comets dwell. Just what else is waiting there, no one on Earth can tell. The edges of the Oort cloud are a cold and lonely place, and when we travel farther, we're in interstellar space. There's a G-class star that we call Sol, made of hydrogen and helium, a big yellow ball. We are part of the family that orbits round the sun. Outward bound, our journey's just begun. Last time around. There's a G-class star that we call Sol, made of hydrogen and helium, a big yellow ball. We are part of the family that orbits round the sun. Outward bound, our journey's just begun. Outward bound, our journey's just begun. outward bound, our journey's just begun.
Right on. Bill and Katie, ladies and gentlemen. Up next, blind living chiffon. I've been struggling to explain this guy for years.
So all the rest of us.
I think I'll just give up and let him play because he's just so much fun to listen to.
I'll try to be. I need to do this. I'll drop.
You plug in or you answer it?
I don't have anything to plug. I'm acoustic. I need an instrument mic, I suppose. Oh, I have a moment to practice. Okay, I think I can sing. I was worried about that. You got the Viagra? Thank you. Thank you so much. Well, I work as a volunteer in a 300-seat. There's some feedback. Okay, I'll step closer to the microphone. That should help. I work as a volunteer in a 300-seat auditorium where roving folk musicians come about, and about a third of them are where they belong, a third of them are on their way up, and a third of them are on their way down, and this song is about them. Hey there, man, it's us. Oh, and sing along with the chorus, please. We all came to hear your show. We're hoping you'll come out and sign our stuff. We're counting on the eBay sales to make us back our ticket price. We're really hoping it's enough. I think I speak for everyone when I say you'd better play the songs you're now so sick of that you'd rather fade away. Please sing the songs we know. We hate them too, but so what? All we want to do is sing refrains. We're not performers, man, so we don't want to sing the verse. All we want to do is sing refrains. Don't want to play guitar, that only makes our fingers hurt. So get up on that stage, and we'll all sit in chairs and sing refrains. That's your part. Don't mean to be a downer, man. Is this really what you do? Spend your whole life touring town to town. Someday you won't make enough for food and gas and hotel rooms, and you'll have to settle down. Been on the road for 20 years and still you're not a star. You wake up every morning wondering where the heck you are. Somewhere in Illinois or Tokyo or Troy, and all we want to do is sing refrains. We're not performers, man, so we don't want to sing the verse. All we want to do is sing refrains. Don't want to play guitar, that only makes our fingers hurt. So get up on that stage, and we'll all sit in chairs and sing refrains. We'd like to help you, man, the only way we can. So please appreciate the way we're singing with you. We're not performers. Well, technically, we are. I guess we are. So play another song or two, and then can we go home? But no, nobody's turning on the light. We stand and clap and scream our lungs out for your big encore, the song we've waited for all night. We like to hear you finish with a song that we all know, our last chance to sing harmony, although we're just so-so. But look now, here's the thing, it's the only time we sing. Everybody.
All we want to do is sing refrains. We're not performers, we don't want to sing the verse. All we want to do is sing refrains. Play guitar, don't raise our fingers first. Get up on that stage. We'll all sit in chairs and sing refrains.
Thank you very much.
Blind Living Chiffon, ladies and gentlemen.
I would like to thank Phil Mills for helping me write that over the internet. Phil Mills, who is about to play, helped me write that on LiveJournal.
Ladies and gentlemen, the handwriting is so tiny. Toronto's own Phil, who vomits stunning writes something almost as fast as Tom Smith. That's vomiting as fast as Tom Smith would be pretty bad. Phil Mills, ladies and gentlemen. Phil, are you here? There you go. Right on.
That's almost as fast as Tom Smith. We lost Nature's chair.
A little stage view.
Shower this morning, so.
This guy needs to be friendlier. Okay, sound? You can hear it. Okay. So I've written some songs. And the first one borrows a tune from Irish Highwayman song that I remember as a kid. It seemed appropriate to steal the tune from that. I log into Facebook to see what news awaits, fearing some fresh tragedy or message filled with hate.
Perhaps there's been a plane crash where nobody survived. Instead, the waiting pictures make me glad that I'm alive. There are kittens on the net, kittens on the net. Cuddly, cute, and innocent are kittens on the net. When I read my Twitter feed, I dread what I will see. 1,000 pithy slogans all staring back at me. They ought to say a rehash instead of a retweet. But some of them quote URLs that link to something neat. There are kittens on the net, kittens on the net. Cuddly, cute, and innocent are kittens on the net. Perhaps there are emergencies that lead us to the cats. Or maybe it's escaping on a day when we feel flat. Fluffy little felines are guaranteed to please. And to think it got momentum from a burger topped with cheese. For the kittens on the net, kittens on the net. Cuddly, cute, and innocent are kittens on the net. Friends of mine like puppies when they're curled up on a rug. And some are happy with their snakes or strangely smiling bugs. Still others are insistent there's nothing like an owl. But I prefer a kitten who is learning how to prowl. They're kittens on the net, kittens on the net. Cuddly, cute, and innocent are kittens on the net. Now we have a verse that takes us back to the original song. I've heard that Willie Brennan was an Irish Robin Hood. He stole a lot of money, then he used it to do good. They hanged him 'cause the World Wide Web was not invented yet. So the soldiers weren't distracted by the kittens on the net. There are kittens on the net, kittens on the net. Cuddly, cute, and innocent are kittens on the net. Cuddly, cute, and innocent are kittens on the net. Now, because I need all the musical support I can get, John Jeffers is bringing strings and harmonies to the stage. While he's getting organized, if I say Napoleonic War with dragons, does that mean anything to anybody? Yes. It's a 9-book series by Naomi Novik that I've gotten hooked on, and this song isn't actually about the dragon Temeraire, it's about another dragon. Tom will now pick an instrument and we'll be no worse off, no matter which one he gets.
Sorry, technically.
Tom on the DI or a mic?
DI. DI.
Just for some semblance of entertainment, Jane, can you bring the paper bag that's at your feet up? Thank you. I was honored earlier today. By my own choosing, while the war was at its height. About 3 minutes later, I was looking for a fight. They say that weight or acid can win battles, that may be, but there's no other dragon with a fire like that in me. Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Would anybody like to tell me I should wait my turn? Ooh, I can fly, I can burn. Along the coast of England, I prevent attacks by France. No flaming fleet would reinforce Napoleon's advance. I expect our admirals must praise me to the skies. Meanwhile, every merchant ship I seize another prize. Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Would anybody like to tell me I should wait my turn? Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Well, sure, I've got a captain, someone to fill that role, but he has few delusions about who's in control. So if we take a quarry, I was told we shouldn't dare. Perhaps I couldn't hear him for the rushing of the air. Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Would anybody like to tell me I should wait my turn? Oh, I can fly, I can burn. I'm born a prince of China, commands the wind and tide. I admire his status, but he irks me with his pride. I respect our pecking order, from the greatest to the least, but it hurts to take direction from the whole heart of the East. Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Oh, I can fly, I can burn. Would anybody like to tell me I should wait my turn? Didn't think so. Oh, I can fly, I can burn.
Unplugging, Ken?
Okay, I'd like to quiet down a little bit with a Firefly song. Technical difficulty of my own making. A bar on some backwater world with time and space to rest. I could be inclined to get my troubles off my chest. Across the room you're laughing with a rich man, someone new. When you talk to strangers, is it easier for you? I talk to strangers, don't worry what they think of me. I talk to strangers, care little of the man they see. But I wonder about your hopes and dreams, the ones you have come true. I talk to strangers, I never talk to you. Two who stand on watch, they speak of home as they prepare. A family remembered and of loves forgotten, then swear.
The only sound they heard, if both should make it until light, was something wild and hopeless out there, howling at night. I talk to strangers, don't worry what they think of me. I talk to strangers, care little of the man they see. But I wonder about your hopes and dreams, the ones you have come true. I talk to strangers, I never talk to you. There's men who'd shoot me dead on sight. I've told about my fears, for I can lie to strangers, say what they want to hear. With two of us together, cramped inside this cozy spot, I try to be professional while hoping that you're not. I feel some kind of comfort acting rough. You and I weren't strangers long enough. I talk to strangers, don't worry what they think of me. I talk to strangers, care little of the man they see. But I wonder about your hopes and dreams, the ones you have come true. I talk to strangers, I never talk to you. But I wonder about your hopes and dreams, what you'd do if you were free. And I notice sometimes strangers talk to me. Okay, so we have a designated singer for the next song. The other half of Stone Dragons, Sue Jeffers. Hey, go. Okay.
I should catch the moon. Will it let my father rest? We live inside his dreams, bearing fruit of his distress. Touch the rocks up in the sky and wonder, have I learned? He shivers in his sleep, breaks his own bones as he turns. If I should catch the moon, if I should catch the moon. If I should catch the moon, will it give my father peace? And if I cannot cure, will I offer ease at least? Maybe my survival's lure, maybe his as well, to be more than a warning tale historians will tell. If I should catch travels, his daughter is returning. After all the madness, after years of dark and burning, call the water to the shore, see a sky that's bright once more, as every season passes to remembrance. If I should catch the moon, will my Father let me be, to move in gentle dance to an ancient harmony? I'd like to walk the highway that is open to the stars. I'd like to see a city that is free of legends and scars. If I should catch a moon, if I should catch a moon, if I should catch a
May not be obvious, that was written when I read The Obelisk Gate by N.K. Jemisin, which is book 2 of a really good series. Just as a sanity check, how am I doing on time?
11 minutes. You're not insane. Am I coming up?
Yep.
So they've cleared more space on that.
Yeah.
Jane Garthson on percussion for the next. This is a song I wrote, but seems like a long time ago now, and it turned out not to just be a song, but a seed for an awful lot of other songs and stories. So I thought I'd go back to it and see how I feel about it now. Hospital dog, he died one day. He might have lived longer, but who can say? I found my knife that had gone astray. I forgot where I set it down. Sister Joe Dollar saw a daytime moon, which might mean luck-headed, might mean doom. And all this happened the same afternoon that the witch girl walked into town. There's an old woman who lives on a hill. If time can't kill her, I don't know what will. Death comes sniffing round once in a while, but she scares him half out of his mind. There's an old woman who lives on a hill. If time hasn't killed her, she's living there still. Potions, medicines, lockets, and charms, poultices, powders, and signs. My pa once saw her pass his home, eyes black as blood, skin white as bone. And the next thing he knew, he was standing alone on a roadside dusty ground. He tripped in a ditch, put his arm in a sling, but lying in the dirt found a silver ring. He rubs it bright while remembering that the witch girl walked into town. There's an old woman who lives on a hill. If time can't kill her, I don't know what will. Death comes sniffing round once in a while, but she scares him half out of his mind. There's an old woman who lives on a hill. If time hasn't killed her, she's living there still. Potions, medicines, lockets, and charms, poultices, powders, and signs. In Granddad's day, the crops turned black. He lost both the sheep to a fierce wolf pack, and his cousin saw goats near the cider shack just as evening rolled around. But they won their war against the privateers, and he started a family in his cabin here on exactly the day, or at least the same year, that the witch girl walked into town. There's an old woman who lives on the hill. If time can't kill her, I don't know what will. Death comes sniffing round once in a while, but she scares him half out of his mind. There's an old woman who lives on the hill. If time hasn't killed her, she's living there still. Potions, medicines, rockets, and charms, poultices, powders, and signs.
People have been telling me how dry they feel it in this room. Man, I shouldn't believe it. Okay, we're going to do one more to leave you with some dance music.
It's a robot dance, a robot pop. We move together and we'll never stop. The human race is a long time gone. They weren't too hot, they weren't too bright, but they didn't have a moon on a Saturday night, and they left us here with the music and song. They had a thing called love and a thing called lust. Heartbreak too, it was as bad as rust, but the ancient discs don't seem to say where the girls and boys never felt this way. I see you stand and look at friends in line. Your phone's march and your lips would shine. In human terms, what I am is shy. I do the sensor to touch your wheels, but we would never make the same things that would feel. If I could today, I'd want to ask them why. They had a thing called love and a thing called lust. Heartbreak too, it was as bad as rust, but the ancient discs don't seem to say where the girls and boys never felt this way. By the nights in I've had a joy. I'm in the parking lot with a quick roll and go on home where you can't see. Imagine humans who gave their hearts. Imagine what it feels like to trace their parts. And you'd like that too, only never with me. They had a thing called love and a thing called lust. Heartbreak too, it was as bad as rust, but the ancient discs don't seem to say where the girls and boys never felt this way. They had a thing called love and a thing called lust. Heartbreak too, it was as bad as rust, but the ancient discs don't seem to say, hey, 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 with the girls in chorus. Never felt this way.
Thanks very much. Thanks to Tom for putting me up here, and thanks to you for putting up with me. Phil Mills, ladies and gentlemen. Nope. Hello. Can I have a microphone, please? Check. Oh, all right. Thanks. Hey, Phil Mills, ladies and gentlemen. Also the lovely Thomas Jeffers. Wonderful, wonderful songs. We are up for some more one-shots. Now, it looks like a couple of our sets were switched. I'm not sure why, but I'm going to go with what it says in front of me. It looks like we've got Janet Julian coming up, and then Jane Garthson, and then the
numbers, not by the numbers on the side. Somebody started right, somebody changed the one set, because what was in the program book versus what was in the pocket program was in error, and the pocket program was correct. So somebody changed the time, so I renumbered them.
Okay.
Janet and I are on a
So what I'm looking at is the one that was originally, it said set 4, but it's been crossed out. It says set 3, which would be.
Yes.
So this is correct?
Yeah.
We've got Janet and then Jane and then the.
Should be on set 2.
I should be on set 2? The set 2 was Lauren and Katie and Bill and. That's all right.
On that day.
I just do what I'm told, man. So I believe, is that correct? Then we got Janet and Jane, and then the critical sidekicks.
Faithful sidekicks.
Faithful sidekicks.
What happened was
Yeah.
somebody looked at the program.
Yes.
The times, called it, crossed off number 4 and called it number 3.
Right.
I caught it, okay. I then said, oh, here's the correct times for number 3. We're at 2:45.
Yes.
Right? So this is number 3. That is now number 4. And this is number 5.
Okay.
So number 3 is Janet, Jane, and the faithful sidekick.
So what we're getting at is that I actually got it right for once?
I think so.
Fantastic. Woo, what are the odds? Can somebody write this down? The day Tim got it right. So Janet, Julian, and are they here? Got the rest of the gang? We'll tell you what, I'll do a couple of announcements while we're waiting. Hang on.
People are here, do it. Whoever's here, do the next set. It doesn't really matter. People are here, do whoever's here. Just let them know who's done it. It's just somebody changed it and came back and changed it.
Tom, are you available to immediately come back on stage?
Is Jane Garson ready to go right now? Then let's have her go. And then anybody sees Janet, Julian, and Rachel
So I need just a vocal mic.
All right.
And I need and Phil just need the instrument.
All right.
The red one's on, Jane.
Okay. So according to Tim Griffin's friend, you're not a real filter till you write a Star Trek song. Well, I finally wrote a Star Trek song. But that's still a little low. Okay. Whenever my wonderful accompanists, Bill Mills and Tom Jeffers, are ready. Of course, Kathleen, you always walk in front of me.
Well, you wanted to while you were
Very terrible. Okay.
We will now tune. Tardigrade is crying out in pain and fear and misery. The stories that feed his mind, they float away across the universe. Discoveries grew his force again to guide the ship through jumps in space, possessing and controlling it. My celestial network. Oh, Ripper's gonna change our world. 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 Ripped and shredded starships, how the light inside convert its eyes. It bends itself as it goes on across the universe. Navigation palms its brain, and in defense it shrivels up till someone sets the creature free to roam across the universe. My celestial network. Oh, Ripper's gonna change our world. 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 DNA of tardigrade injected by the engineer, collecting and collecting here. Limitless admission to the fungal plane if he survives. Alternative to what we know across the universe. Celestial network. Oh, spores are gonna change our world. 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 My celestial network. My celestial network. My celestial network. My celestial network. While they're looking for the next performer, I just want to say that I think it would be very brave of Karen and Tanya to put my princess tiara on Izurka the dragon.
All right, well, we're waiting. Let's see. Do we have Janet, Julian, Rachel?
Faithful sidekicks.
Are the faithful sidekicks good to go? All right. Can we get the faithful sidekicks up here, please? While they're getting, I'll give them a minute to get set up. I'll make a couple of announcements. Did we find the owner of the silver earring with the 2 glass beads? Great. Okay. Check that one. Not use the seeds for computers. Da, 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 da. Yeah. Yep. Quit the stage. Should I quit the stage? I thought I was doing okay. Oh, the quilt. Quilt. Stage. $1 for one. $1 for one. $5 for 3. Wait a minute. How does that work? $1 for 1 ticket. $5 for 3. 3. 1 ticket for $2. Okay. It says $1 on here. So $2 for 1 ticket. $5 for 3 tickets. It's a beautiful quilt. They're going to raffle it off at the closing ceremonies. Quick reminder to our performers, we are live streaming all the concerts on Facebook through the group page. If you do not wish to be filmed, please say so.
YouTube channel.
Oh, through the YouTube channel?
Yeah.
Okay.
Two DIs, yes, please.
You guys good to go?
Two DIs and two vocals, and hold on to your hats because we have yours.
She's got a hat. Ready for big 16?
Thank you.
Next is
Yeah,
Abbott.
stand taller. That never happens.
Yeah.
Testing over here. Secondary vocal mic.
One and three.
I'm number one? I'm number
You're
one.
number one. I'm apparently number 3.
And you're way over there.
In a contest of 2, I'm number 3, yes.
Y'all hear the bass? It's all good? Okay.
Do you have the guitar?
You have the guitar.
I do have the guitar.
The question is, can you hear his guitar well enough? No, that's a no. Well, they're all hardworking. Why don't we give a round of applause for the sound guys? Because they are working tirelessly all weekend, first of all.
Are we in the neighborhood already? Hi, everybody. I'm Eric.
I'm Jen.
We're the Faithful Sidekicks.
This song is the title album off our new...
This is the title song off of our new CD.
Yeah, that.
The Thing, with the stuff. It's in the dealer's room and things, and this is called Achievement Unlocked. 2, 3, 4.
I don't know what you're doing.
You're right. She starts. You start.
New game.
Yes.
Choose difficulty.
Hard.
You've chosen adulting with career.
Roll out of bed, jump in the shower, upgrade my costume, time to use a special power.
I'm sorry, Mario. Your coffee's in another castle.
No! Mamma mia! The levels are getting long, and there's no cheat code. This game is more than hard enough, but at least there's a co-op mode.
Player 2 is entered the game.
Hi. Got through the whole day without spilling on my shirt. I didn't break my diet, the second helping of dessert.
Cookies don't count.
I played an adult today. Achievement unlocked. I ate my greens today. Achievement unlocked. A totally parked parallel. Achievement unlocked. Sold a friend not feeling well. Achievement unlocked. We approach the looming tower of the cubicle domain. We must acquire the gold coins without going insane.
Good luck with that.
Worker drones are everywhere, and we are not afraid. They attack with monotony.
It's super effective.
Time for a weapon upgrade.
You gain +2 smartphone.
Make my way through an idle chat about some sort of sport. I managed to put a cover sheet on my TPS report.
Somebody's got to face the Mondays.
I played an adult today. Achievement unlocked. IRTFM today. Achievement unlocked. Stayed awake through the meeting. Achievement unlocked. I return your greeting. Achievement unlocked. We've been given an epic quest called Assault on the Endless Chores. But first we must prepare ourselves to loot from the grocery store.
Jen needs food badly.
Inventory is getting low. You can stack some lots of hay. Uh-oh, the music's changed. Time to fight the boss. Form 1048.
Ooh, hold down the TurboTax button.
You can't hold down for quick boosts only. I played an adult today. Achievement unlocked. I went outside today. Achievement unlocked. I climbed a wall today. Achievement unlocked. I broke an arm today. Achievement unlocked. Really wish we could reset. Start all over today. Or at least reload. Get another play.
I say right before the boss level.
I played an adult today. Achievement unlocked. I didn't get in my own way. Achievement unlocked. I wrote a song today. Achievement unlocked. I made a new friend today. Epic, awesome achievement unlocked.
10-minute break so the sound guys can actually use the bathroom. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen.